Today marks the latest release in Bethesda's series of Vault-Tec Educational Films for the residents of Vault 76. The residents, of course, meaning us. This latest video to the series is titled Atomics for Peace and walks us through the basics of how to launch nuclear missiles from specific locations around the map. From previous information, we know that to launch one of these nuclear missiles, you will have to gather sections of a nuclear launch code from locations in the wasteland to complete the sequence. You can then launch your nuclear missile at a target of your choosing out of a list of predetermined locations. This latest video doesn't therefore provide a huge amount of information further to what we already know, but does prompt a couple of interesting talking points. Let me play the video for you now and we can discuss them once it's finished.
You will emerge. Today's episode, Atomics for Peace. When you emerge from the comfort and safety of your vault, the world you know will have changed. Take your friendly old neighbor Johnny. Rather than coming over to borrow a cup of sugar, he may now be coming over for murder. Worse still, he may not be alone. In this instance, your current defensive implement will not be enough to do the job. The time has come to seek out greater means of protection. Nuclear armaments. That's right. Courtesy of your Uncle Sam, these wonders of the atomic age can be found right in your own backyard. But how does a fellow like you acquire nuclear launch codes, you may ask? Begin by inquiring with the locals. Gently coax them into cooperation. Use a little elbow grease if you have to. In the likely event you don't acquire a full code on your own, do not give up. Think back to the old saying, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Search for others who might be harboring a grudge. You'll have that nuclear launch code in no time. With the power of the atom at your fingertips, be responsible and consider your target carefully. Will your bomb land on a rival camp of degenerates? A random stranger? The local wildlife? The choice is yours. Whatever your target may be, take advantage of the resulting fallout to gather rare and valuable resources. Yet these rewards don't come without risk. Monitor your environment for anything out of the ordinary. Now you know the benefits of using Atomics for Peace. You are completely prepared to responsibly use nuclear weapons. As a hand-picked resident of Vault 76, it is your duty to carefully review your Vault-Tec provided films yearly to fully prepare for the day when you will emerge.
So there you have it then, the latest in the series of Vault-Tec videos. I can't imagine how much fun the guys at Bethesda have making these for our amusement. From watching the video, the first main talking point comes when we see a representation of what we will have to do in the wasteland in order to obtain sections of the nuclear launch codes, beating the Scorch to a pulp with a spiked plank. Now this of course is an over-exaggerated way of saying that we will need to hunt Scorch and possibly other NPCs in the wasteland in order to loot sections of the nuclear launch codes from them. This makes me wonder whether there will be specific Scorch that we need to hunt in order to acquire the codes, or are they just gifted to us randomly? Will these Scorch be stronger than other Scorched? Could they be employees of military installations that have been affected by radiation? Might we have to go to a specific location to find them, or could it just be random whether they have a nuclear launch code in their loot or not? We've obviously been told we can work with friends to do this, but is this mandatory, or could you, even if it is slower in the long run, collect them for yourself? Maybe certain codes only appear to you, and you therefore have to match them to codes that appear only to your friends. Another part of the video worth mentioning is when our options for possible targets are listed to us. These are suggested as a rival settlement, random strangers or local wildlife. Now, depending on how you want to play the game, a rival camp would be a pretty obvious target to choose. However, could there be a more tactical way of using nuclear missiles when it comes to the local wildlife option? If we take Fallout 4 for example, there were locations around the Commonwealth where certain types of enemies or creatures were far more common than others. Deathclaws alongside other stronger enemies could be found in abundance within the Glowing Sea for example. There were however a number of locations of note within the Glowing Sea we had to visit to progress the main questline, and therefore we would come into contact with these enemies along the way. Could there be an argument to say then that launching a nuclear missile into a location like this in Fallout 76 clears that location of enemies and increases your chance of survival? By doing this, there would be less risk reaching a location along a questline or getting to the location of a rare loot item within this zone. If this is the case, this would tie in perfectly to the next point that is made, which is that rare and valuable resources, including stronger mutated enemies, will be found more commonly where a bomb has fallen. Again, previous information has been released to us to confirm this will be the case, but could this be a risk and reward scenario? Say you launch a nuke at a location you need to clear. You go there and find that there are less enemies because the bomb has fallen there, but the risk of far stronger enemies is much higher. It's the age-old question, 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? We do after all see one seriously upset Scorchbeast appear in the video. This last point also makes me wonder about what notable loot will become more common in these nuclear blast zones. Will it be raw materials of some kind, or could it be weapon modifications or components that we need to advance the main questline further? Everything at this point is obviously speculation. Until we can get our hands on the beta, which should be released sometime in October, we can't know for sure. That wraps up this really quick analysis of the latest Vault-Tec video, guys. If you are enjoying the Fallout 76 videos, please do leave us a like. Maybe there's something about Fallout 76 you don't quite understand yet and you want us to help you with it. Let us know in the comments below what it is and we'll try and clarify it for you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see the Fallout 76 videos we have planned in the future. We look forward to seeing you there.